Welcome back to Elizabeth Plants. I'm Elizabeth, and today we are talking about plants and mental health. So if you are not familiar, I am currently working on my graduate degree in clinical mental health counseling and working as a clinical mental health counseling intern. That means in less than a year, I'm going to be a licensed counselor. I love mental health for obvious reasons, like I wouldn't become a counselor if mental health wasn't an interest area of mine. So mental health and houseplants is also pretty close to my heart, right? Pretty close to my interests. And I challenged a bunch of other plant YouTubers, to send me clips just telling me why houseplants help their mental health. So this is not a COVID specific or a virus specific video. This is just a mental health and plants video. Each of these clips is another, come here, wanna be in the video? Oh. Here we go. Each of these clips is another plant tuber telling me why mental health, their plants help with their mental health. So before we get into their clips, I thought it was only natural that I share. So yeah, don't step on that. I use my plants as a relaxation technique. Houseplants and taking care of houseplants and pruning and watering and checking for bugs and cleaning the shelf and just everything that is related to my houseplants is kind of meditative, relaxing, calming. Both my cats gotta make noise, sorry. But they're super calming for me. If I'm having a really high stress day, I am going to take a break and go do something with my plants. If I am having a really emotional day or having a really difficult day for any reason, or even just I'm exhausted or I'm tired, I'm going to go do something with my plants. So my plants really serve as like my outlet for caring for something without like having to worry about their opinion or them having to talk back or having to like give them my like mental attention. It's kind of a automatic source of attention, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how my plants help me with my mental health. They lower my anxiety, my stress, my sadness. They give me a recharge, all of those things. So without further ado, here are other plant tubers and how mental health is affected by their plants.
Hey everyone, my name is Sydney and I have a very small YouTube channel called Peaceful Planting. I want to thank Elizabeth for allowing me to be part of such a great collaboration. I am a mental health professional and a lot of the times as a therapist, we see our clients or patients come in experiencing such difficult feelings and emotions and they just don't know how to cope with it. And a lot of the times people turn to maladaptive coping skills, which in other words are unhealthy coping skills, like throwing yourself into work just to distract yourself or even substance use. Now, this doesn't go for everybody. I am not saying that everybody uses maladaptive coping skills, but it does happen pretty often. One of my coping skills happens to be plants. I want to talk to you about 3 different ways that plants can help your mental health. First off is self-care, and this is something that is mentioned in the mental health profession a lot. Self-care is typically defined as things that you are doing to help your mental health or your physical health. Collecting plants can absolutely be a form of self-care. This hobby allows you to get into something that you love and that you enjoy, which is taking care of yourself, finding things that you love to help your mental health. Second, I want to talk to you about mindfulness. Mindfulness is typically described as being present in the moment, allowing yourself to feel what you are feeling, maybe even think about why you're feeling those things. The action of taking care of your plant slows things down and allows you to be present in the moment. Number 3, social support. This is something that is extremely important in mental health, and I'll tell you, this is the main way that plants have helped me in my mental health. We have a very large houseplant community and it's filled with very genuinely nice people. So I would really recommend that you put yourself out there and maybe meet some other planty friends. That way you can build a social support system. Feeling included in a group is so important for people who are experiencing mental health issues. Okay, plant friends, that is all I have for you. It was great meeting you. Bye.
G'day plant friends, my name is Scott and I'm from Scott Grows an Avocado Tree Elizabeth has invited me here today to talk about how plants affect my mental health. So today I'm going to be giving you a brief outline of some of the different ways that plants are used by me to maintain and promote my own mental health. And the first one is that plants help me to exercise. Now, okay, plants are not the main factor in this, but plants certainly encourage me to exercise. When I talk about gardening, I am in the garden physically doing things. That might include digging, that might include lifting things, that's often moving around, and that is one of the ways that I exercise. I also love walking, running, and bike riding, and I love to do that out in nature. There are a number of heavily treed trails which I love to walk along near my home. I don't use a gym. I have a treadmill at home for when the weather is really inclement and it's really inconvenient to use the outdoor spaces that I have access to. But I always prefer to exercise using outside. And exercising regularly is a great way to help me focus, relax, unwind, process things, reflect, and transition from different parts of my day. The second is that plants help me get into a flow. And when I say flow, I mean an activity which is of an appropriate challenge level where I'm thinking about it. I'm not bored, but I'm not struggling to get it done. And maintaining plants is one of those. I need to focus on what I'm doing, but it is really interesting to me and it's not tiresome. And when we get into the flow, time just kind of disappears. It flies by. So many times I come out in the garden in the afternoon and then before I know it, it's dark. When looking after my indoor plants, the same kind of thing happens. I lose hours maintaining these plants. And there's such an enjoyment that's found when we find the flow of something, and gardening and looking after plants really is one of those things for me. The third is that plants help me to build relationships. Now that might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but I'm a part of a number of online spaces where I have made a number of really good friends because of my plants. You know, some of the people who I am close friends with, who I speak with multiple times a week, I've met through these online spaces where we talk about our successes and our failures with our plants, and we support each other, not just with our plants as well, but with our other life stuff. It's really wonderful to connect with people over similar interests, and connecting with people who have an interest in plants, I found is a really wonderful thing to do. The plant community, for the most part, is a really supportive and lovely community wherever you go on the internet. And the last one that I'll speak about today is how satisfying I find caring for plants. I think there's something really beautiful, not just with plants, but with other things in life, being able to care for, maintain, and watch something grow slowly over time. And being able to do that with my plants is a super rewarding and enriching experience. Now, we don't always get this right. You know, plants die, they're living things, and sometimes our care doesn't cater for their needs appropriately. But for the most part, we see growth in our plants. I see growth in my plants, and I receive it's just such a reward in watching them grow. And there is a summary of some of the ways that plants support my mental health. Thank you very much for having me, Elizabeth. Once again, I am Scott from Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you another time.
Hey guys, it's Allie from Houseplants, and today I'm here as part of this video to share with you some of the ways that plants have helped my mental health. I personally have dealt with anxiety, more specifically OCD, since I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I started getting depression in my later teenage years. And you wouldn't even believe the difference plants have made in my life. They've taught me to slow down and to have patience because they demand your attention eventually. Even the lowest care plants demand your attention eventually. And it's good to get out of our heads and to focus on something that isn't us, ourselves, our problems, our jobs, our families, our whatever. And it's a good distraction when you need one. And they've also taught me to nurture something, and again, to take care of something that isn't me. Even when I don't want to get out of bed, I want to take care of my plants because they make me so unbelievably happy. And I know that was very simple, but it can really help. Just sit down, look at them, take care of them, and they can improve your self-confidence and improve your day-to-day life.
Hi, I'm Amber from Insanical Botanicals, and I want to tell you why plants make me happy and are good for my mental health. So, I really love plants, and they allow me to be creative and get creative with color and texture, size, shape, and it's a really great thing to watch it grow and or propagate it, share with people, and it makes me feel a part of. It makes me feel like I belong somewhere. I belong, with like-minded people, and the plant community has really accepted me and allowed me to be myself and learn more about plants. And over the past year, I've really learned a lot about different kinds of plants, and it just never stops. And that's what's so cool about it, and it just keeps me wanting to come back every day for more and more. So thanks for listening, and that's it.
Hello, Elizabeth Plants viewers. I'm Lindsay from Just Uno Mas, and Elizabeth had this cool idea for us to talk to you guys about plants and mental health. So I'm just gonna share my experience, and that is that me personally, I'm the type of person that my mind is always running, always running. There are just a million thoughts, a million things to do, and it gets really hectic, and I don't know how to shut my mind up, my thoughts up, or to even slow down. So plants for me, once I start tending to my plants, checking on them, watering them, maybe doing repotting, my mind just kind of gets quiet, and I am just able to take a break from myself, I guess, and just life and all my thoughts. And I don't know, before long I find myself just covered in dirt, the smell of soil. I love the smell of soil. And I was able to take a break because of my plants. So they bring me a sense of peace. That's all I got. Bye.
Hello everyone, for those who don't know me, my name is Casey and I have a plant YouTube channel called Plant with Casey. First I want to say, Elizabeth, thank you so much for allowing me to be on your channel. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. We are going to be talking about how plants help our mental health. So I kind of have two things. That one is definitely plant related, and the second one I wanted to include because it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for plants. So the first thing that I like to do, which is something that I do probably a lot more often than I should, but that is rearranging my plants. I love taking an empty room and just decorating it with plants. I feel like it's the only thing I really need to decorate. Mainly decorate with plants, candles, and that's pretty much it. Another thing that I like to do is to talk to my plant friends. Now, I'm not sure if you either have a plant Instagram yourself or if you follow a bunch of plant Instagrams, but I would say if you don't have one and you want to start one, you definitely should. Not only for the simple fact of you'll be able to see your plants grow through a timeline, but another reason is because you meet the most wholesome, amazing, friendly, genuine, just so many amazing people that want to talk to you, that want to be there for you. I would have never imagined all of the kind and amazing people that I have met through YouTube, through Instagram, through Facebook pages. There's so many different places where plants are taking over and they're creating so many amazing friendships. But I guess those are my tips for you. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry if I went a little bit on a tangent there. Thank you again, Elizabeth, for having me.
Hi, my name is Ella and I'm the Plants Meow, and today I'm going to be talking to you about kind of my mental health journey with plants. My journey into plants probably wasn't the healthiest one, but it has definitely become a saving grace of mine. I've always had houseplants in my life. My parents have had houseplants, grandmother, great-grandmother, so I've always had them around. And I've never had a deep connection with them, even though I've always loved nature. So if you don't know me, I have 6 cats. In the beginning of last year, one of my cats got sick, and his name is Ramsey. Ramsey was just 5 years old, and he had very sudden symptoms. He basically was already in kidney failure, and on top of kidney failure, he was also had this protein losing disease. So every time I gave him fluids, which was twice a day for his kidneys, he would also lose more protein. And we couldn't treat that protein because if we did, it could harm his kidneys. So it's kind of a catch-22. So anyone who knows me in person knew that Ramsey was like my best friend. he was supposed to be a zombie cat. Like, he was supposed to live forever. Like, I always said, like, I don't know what I'd do without him if he ever died. Like, honestly, I know that's pretty horrible, but I didn't know. I was ridiculously attached to him, and he was ridiculously attached to me. So on top of putting the IV needle into him twice a day, he was also getting about 5 to 6 shots a day. So it was not pleasant for him, and I felt like I had no control. Like, it was just an awful situation. So with this whole situation with Ramsey, at the same time I started getting into houseplants. Since I had no control over his life, houseplants were something that, you know, I could control if they lived or died. I could make them thrive and be healthy and happy. And that was something that became very intoxicating to me. I basically very quickly acquired a ton of houseplants. And when the time came and Ramsey had to be put down, I couldn't really deal. So houseplants became a big thing for me. If you look at my first YouTube video, it's literally probably filmed the week or after that Ramsey had passed, and I got a ton of houseplants. I have a ton of unboxing videos because that's the only way that I could kind of cope at the time, was just distracting myself by getting more plants, by filming videos, by editing, anything that could consume my time, because any time to just sit and think was just horrible for me. I didn't want time to sit or think. I didn't want to process it. I didn't want any of that. All I wanted to do is focus on my plants, learn about my plants, and help them grow and thrive. And honestly, this is probably not the healthiest method to get into plants, because if I eventually came to a time where I decided, okay, I've dealt with a situation and now I have all these plants and I don't feel like dealing with it, that could have been very bad. But for me, it worked out very well. All my plants feel like an extension of me. Helping them by having them here to care for is extremely comforting, and I know it's something that I have complete control over. In a way, like, there's a lot of aspects in your life that you may not have any control over, and having plants in your life that you can grow is really amazing. So I'm at this point in my life now where I'm happy with my plants. I'm in a comfortable place. I am very heartbroken still, but it's helped me cope in numerous ways. And without them, I really don't know where I would be. They have really kept me sane through all of this, and I love all of my plants. There's something about being able to nurture something that is genuinely comforting. Even if you don't have it all together, you can help something else have it all together and thrive. Nature is one of the greatest gifts that we have, and the fact that we can love and appreciate them inside our homes as well as outside is incredible. So yeah, houseplants can be stressors when it comes to pests. But honestly, if you don't freak out when you get a pest, honestly think of it just, your kid got lice. Like, you gotta take care of it. Just love them and take care of it, and it's fine. Don't let pests stress me out, because there's just no point in it. You know, it's something you can take care of. It's something that is treatable. You know, not everything in life will be treatable, but they will be. You know, if you put the effort in, unlike, you know, with Ramsey, no matter how much effort I put, he was never gonna survive. But with my plants, I could put that effort in. I could, and they can live. And honestly, they are just so incredible for my mental well-being. I know a lot of people have their own journeys of getting into houseplants. I really look forward to hearing more of those stories, and I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to mine. Thank you. And this big bundle of love is Phillip, and he's actually Ramsey's brother. He's a good boy.
Hi, my name is Rose from Yoga and Plant with Rose, and plants have helped me a lot recovering from a huge burnout. All I could do basically for a long time was lie on the sofa back there, cry, sleep, and maybe watch some TV. And then I started to take care of some small plants, some small orchids. And by doing this, it gave me some sense of usefulness, of not just lying there and doing nothing all day, and then accomplishment as well, as I saw these plants recovering. Some of them were not doing very well, and then growing. So I felt kind of like I succeeded at least that day doing something useful. Ever since then, I made a full recovery, don't worry. And now every morning I go over here in my windowsill and look at all my plant babies just as a morning, kind of almost like a meditation. I am a yoga teacher, but my plants are my meditation, my mindfulness every day. Checking out the new leaves and taking photos of them to show them off on my Instagram because I'm so proud of them. So for me, plants have really made a big change in my life and helped me recover and become myself again, because the burnout totally wiped me out, and plants helped me to grow back into the rose, that's a nice plant name now, that I am.
Hello, my name is Sarah, also known as Juniper Knots, and normally on my channel I talk all about plants, indoors and out. Today I'm really excited to be a part of this collaboration and talk about plants and mental health and how plants have really saved my life. When I say plants saved my life, I'm not really exaggerating. I have dealt with bipolar disorder and several anxiety disorders my entire life, and it has definitely been a struggle. I have had some very low lows, and there has been times where I didn't think I could go on anymore in life. Honestly, there's been a lot of times that I've struggled to find the motivation to keep going day by day, living with a mental health issue. Plants have always been a part of my life, but it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I hit a really low that I really let my obsession with plants run wild. And that's when I noticed how plants have really changed my life. They give me motivation to get up in the morning. I used to be a night person and really struggle to get out of bed. There were days I wouldn't get out of bed, or I'd be in bed until noon or something. And with gardening, my body has gotten used to like the cycle of the sun now, because I am up when the sun is up, sometimes before it, but I love it now. It's totally changed me. I'm now a morning person. Who would have guessed that? I still struggle with insomnia occasionally, but for the most part, I feel like just getting up every day, and I'm so much more active now that I have hundreds of plants to care for. It really becomes a little bit of a workout too. It gets me going in the morning. That's kind of the first thing I do, is I get up and I take care of plants. Plants bring so much purpose and happiness to my life. I mean, all of the blooms going on right now in our breakfast nook is amazing. It's so great to wake up to a cactus bloom that has opened. They just bring so much joy and color and life into life. I can't say enough about what plants have done for my mental health, and that's one of the reasons I'm such an advocate for plants, is because I want to also be able to help people with their mental health as well. I still struggle with mental health issues, of course. I still have my bad days, but knowing that I have my plants to take care of, garden to take care of, it helps me get out of bed in the morning. It keeps me from sitting in that low point for too long. Plants have played such a huge part in my life and my mental health. I really feel like they've saved me. I still have my ups and downs, but with plants, I know I'm going to be able to get back up again.
Thank you so much to all of the participants in this video for sending me their clips and being so helpful and having such wonderful ideas. And thank you to their plants for helping them with their mental health. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below how your mental health is helped by your plants, what your plants do for your mental health. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Go to the description and subscribe to all of those amazing plant tubers. They are awesome. See you next time.